I bring you greetings certainly on behalf of the School 6 family and this entire school community. Today is another great day at Public School number 6 as we sponsor and of course house our second annual Save the Village Conference initiative. And out of this today comes another great experience, not only for adults but for our young people most of all. Our young people have been able to come together, talk about concerns, and I think what is most important of this is that we see some action afterwards. We can come together and be emotional about many things, but what is to follow that end product? So there's an action plan that needs to be formed in order to reach our goals. And I just would like to say to the committee, to the leaders, to the parents, to the Paterson School District, thank you for giving this initiative your support and blessings that we can come together again and share and have a real family talk. And certainly to Mr. Ernest Rucker and Commissioner Brent, our two co-chairpersons, I want to commend you for being so forceful and having the insight that we must enforce the issue. And the issue is knowing who you are, regardless to what you look like, regardless to where you come from. We are all in this together. Again, thank you, and let's have a great second annual Black Initiative, or shall I say, Black Condition Conference and Discussion.
How you doing, Matt McKoy? Here at the annual Save the Village Black Condition Conference 2016. Awesome group, awesome community effort, and it boils down to us banding together as a people, as a community, to do what we need to do to seek change and see change in our community. No one is coming to save us. We're going to save ourselves, and I'm just happy to be here with this network of great minds that are finding solutions to our issues, economic empowerment, economic development, youth empowerment, women issues. All of these workshops and groups are coming together to sit down and discuss our issues, but not only discuss them, but come up with resolutions and ways to solve the issues that we face in our community. So once again, I'm excited about our future. Save the Village Black Condition Conference is doing some amazing things in the city of Paterson, partnershiping with a number of different community groups, Paterson Cares, NAACP, some of our community churches, our leaders are all here at the table to make a difference in our community. So I'm excited to be here, and I'll see you next year. Have a good one.
This is Mike Williams. I'm here at the Black Condition Conference 2016. Having a good time so far. A lot of very interesting conversations about the Black condition, not just in Paterson, but in the United States as a whole. Some of the emphasis is on voting, which we've earned that right to vote, in which Dr. Hamm and Mr. Hamm encourage everyone that they should actually vote, considering the presidential election. But also when we look at the local election, it doesn't matter who you're going to back. The first thing you need to do is register. Then the second thing you need to do is go vote. But very interesting conversation here at the conference. A lot of discussion about education, a lot of discussion about political accountability and so forth. These are things that we need to be talking about in our community. Now it's a matter of what do we do next in terms of the work, and let's get an outcome from this meeting, and then something we can that's actionable, that we can actually put into action and actually get some things done that will have a positive impact on our community.
I am so happy to be here at the Save the Village Black Condition Conference. It has been really fantastic. We talked today about the Black women's issues, and New Family Foundation, of which I am the vice president, has made a commitment to host more conversations and workshops in our community about Black women's issues. So look forward to that, and I'm really happy to be here. And for everybody who organized this event, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much, and it's really a pleasure to be a part of it.
Hi, my name is Marcella. I came here just to network and meet other people that are interested in engaging with Black concerns what's going on in our communities and what we can do to make things better, and see how I can contribute anything that I can do.
I am so glad that we had a great turnout for Save the Village, the Black Condition. I am Janet McDaniel. I'm a member of New Family Foundation, and this conference is the epitome of what we want to see. We want to see unity, umoja. We want to see people working together, ujima, collective work and responsibility. We need to have a purpose when we do something, and that's what we had today. We have a call to action to lift up our community. We have to do that ourselves. Our first speaker.
Good afternoon, Paterson. I will be very brief, despite the fact that our speaker could go on and on for days and days. Mr. Hamm is a political and community activist. He leads an organization called the People's Organization for Progress. On his bio, he could be listed, should be listed as the youngest elected public official. I believe he was still in high school when he was elected to the school board in Newark. Mr. Hamm has been a particular friend to the Paterson community as he kicked off our 7-day Kwanzaa event both in 2014 and 2015. As I said, I could go on and on, but you get the picture, and he will give you more information. Please help me in welcoming Larry Hamm.
Power to the people. Brothers and sisters, I'm so glad to be here with you this afternoon for this conference on the Black condition. And I think we need to give the organizers of this conference a big round of applause for having this conference this February, this Black History Month. Brothers and sisters, I've been told that I have 15 minutes. It is 12:40. I will sit down at 12:55. It would be folly to try and address the Black condition in 15 minutes. So what can I say to you in 15 minutes that would be of some value, that could have an impact on our condition here in Paterson, in New Jersey, and in the United States of America? There's much to be said, and I want to say without hesitation and unequivocally that I agree with all the recommendations and suggestions that have been given to you by the speakers that have preceded me. I don't want to be redundant. I don't want to repeat anything that has already been said. So let me say this. In approximately 107 days, we will have the primary election for President of the United States here in New Jersey, and in approximately 100 days after that, we will have the election for President of the United States. I don't know about you. I'll speak for those and those who work with me. We cannot have a Republican victory in the contest for President of the United States. I know that this is a nonpartisan event, but but I'm 62 years now. I can collect Social Security. I am officially a senior citizen. So I'm going to say what I think, and I don't care what anybody thinks about that. What has been evolving over the past 10 years or more has been an attempt to set up a right-wing dictatorship in the United States of America. Now, in 2008, we did what many of us thought might be impossible. I know everybody in here loves President Barack Obama, but if the truth be told, maybe half of you in here didn't think it would be possible to elect him when he declared in November of 2007. You didn't think a black man could be elected, and you didn't think a black man with a Muslim name could be elected. But our people went to the polls in record numbers, and today we have an African-American president of the United States of America. What seemed to be impossible, we made possible because we broke down the most important barriers of all. Do you know what the most important barriers are? The barriers that circumscribe your imagination. Because before any great deed is accomplished, the most important thing to have is a vision. Before you can achieve it, you must believe it. So, while we were engaged in that great work of putting in place the first African-American president, our adversaries, even our enemies, and I have to use this word, I can't soft pedal anything to you. There are enemies of black progress occupying the highest positions of power in the United States of America. And they are dedicated to, in fact, keep us oppressed and poor and powerless. And while we were focused on the White House, they were focused on the Senate and House of Representatives. And by the second year of the president's first term, they controlled the House, and by the second year of his second term, they controlled the Senate. Now, there are only three branches of government: the legislative, the judiciary, and the executive. For 40 years, they had been engaged in an effort to transform the Warren Supreme Court, which had been a fairly liberal court, into a conservative court. In 1968, it was a fairly liberal court. But what happened in 68? We had the assassination of Martin Luther King, and then following that in November, we had the election of Richard Nixon. And what did Richard Nixon do? He made conservative appointments to the Supreme Court. And following him was Ronald Reagan, and what did Ronald Reagan do? He made conservative appointments to the Supreme Court. And following him was George Bush I, and what did he do? He made conservative appointments to the Supreme Court. And following him was George Bush II. And what did he do? He completed the transformation with his appointment with 5 conservatives and 4 liberals to the Supreme Court. So and they control the legislature. And now they are organizing to complete their political coup, because that's what it is. It is a political coup by trying to take the White House in November. Our people died for the right to vote. Our people paid for that right with our blood and with our lives. We can't let anybody keep us from the polls in November. We must stop this right-wing coup that's going on in the United States of America. Now, what does this mean? This means that when you complete this convocation here today, that you have work to do when you exit those doors. We have to turn every church, every school, every barbershop, every beauty salon, every laundromat, every bodega, and every street corner into a voter registration station and register hundreds of thousands of our people to vote. Because, brothers and sisters, the black condition is not going to be changed in 100 days. Carroll Street is going to still be Carroll Street in November. But who will sit in the White House can be changed. And it's up to us to do that. And we can't do this amorphously. And we can't do it haphazardly. And we can't do it casually. We must set goals. We must, if you don't do anything else today, agree on a number. I don't care if the number is 100 or 1,000 or 5,000. But agree on a number of the people that you are going to register and vote, and then meet once a month to monitor your progress, so by June the 7th, we have more voters on the rolls than we have today, this day, February 27th, 2016. We need measurable progress. That's right, we need people's power, poder popular. And that power, one of the ways, it's not the only way, but one of the ways that power is made manifest is by us going out and registering our people to vote. And then it's not enough to register them. We must get them to the polls on June 7th and get them to the polls in November. And that requires what? It requires organization. Now, a lot of you during Black History Month, you reflect upon one of the greatest achievements of the contemporary civil rights struggle, and that was the Montgomery bus boycott. Why was the Montgomery bus boycott successful? It was successful because the people organized their own alternative transportation system. They carpooled. They used black taxi cabs. Anybody that had any kind of a vehicle, be it a pickup truck or whatever, would take people to and from work. So, not only must we put in place organization to register our people, we must put in place organization to get our people to the polls on election day in June and on election day in November. There can be no excuses. The time for excuses in regard to these matters is over. What is the excuse when we have technology at our fingertips that our forebears couldn't even dream of? In Montgomery, the only thing they had was a hand-cranked lineal machine. That's the only thing they they had. And them sisters the night before cranked out 50,000 leaflets and got people to the church and got people to the meetings. Today, we have cell phones and smartphones and high-speed copiers and social media and Facebook and Instagram. We can communicate with each other in a fraction of a second. There is no excuse for people sitting home on election day. No excuse whatsoever. And we have to put together the organization to get them to the polls. This is the immediate task that faces us. Yes, our long-range goals are the resolutions of those problems that face us in our communities. But we must deal with the practical, and the practical task before us right now is the registration of enough people so that we can stop the right-wing juggernaut. These people are crazy. They want to take us back. They don't want to take us back to 64, to 65, to Brown versus Topeka in 54. They want to take us back to Jim Crow to 1896. I don't know about you. I am not going back without a fight. I'm going to fight them tooth and nail. I'm going to fight them for every inch of ground. I can't sit still. I can't be quiet. We paid too much, gave too much, bled too much. I'm not going back without a fight. And you shouldn't go back without a fight either. And I know how some of you, because I feel the same way about this corrupt political system. I know our votes don't mean as much as they should mean. And I know we don't get out of politics what we should get out of it. But this is like a military operation. When you fight in war, there is no fight in warfare where you don't lose troops. The person who wins is the person who has the most troops left. This is like, well, we are making a strategic decision here. No, the election is not going to magically transform the black condition. But you and I know that the composition of that Supreme Court will affect affirmative action. Right now, they are arguing an affirmative action case. We know it will affect the ability of unions to unionize. Right now, before the Supreme Court is a case that will affect the ability of unions to deduct union dues from the people that they represent. Right now, before the Supreme Court, there are cases involving women's reproductive rights and civil rights, and on and on and on. So I say to you, brothers and sisters, our practical goal is voter registration and mobilization. But let us also have aspirational goals. If I don't say anything else to you tonight, or today or this afternoon, I tell you this, that the black condition will not be transformed unless we transform this racist, capitalist, imperialist social system that we live in. And if I told you less than that, I would not be true to Dr. King, and I would not be true to Malcolm X, and I would not be true to Frederick Douglass. We need to have a social system. Why should parents have to mortgage their homes 2 and 3 times to send their children to school? College should be free of charge in the United States of America. Why should people hesitate to go and see a doctor or a dentist because they don't have money or health insurance? We should have universal health care, just like Canada, our next door neighbor, has universal health care. Why must there be 23 million unemployed and underemployed people in the United States? We need a national jobs program just like they had during the Depression that put 11 million people back to work in 36 months. Why must there be a school-to-prison pipeline that incarcerates our brothers and sisters? Even if and I was in the house every day. If I don't have enough money, if I don't have money to support my family, how much good does it do? It does good. But we must have not a minimum wage, we must have a living wage in the United States of America. So we need structural change and foundational change. So let's get to work, brothers and sisters. Power to the people.
Provocative. Give Mr. Lawrence Hamm another round of applause. There aren't too many speakers that can captivate an audience in the way that he did and motivate us to want to get involved, motivate us to want to change. We're so excited about the environment that we're creating here. With each speaker, the energy increases, the vibes increase, and we're looking forward to